Walking around your house using the airport utility that I told you to test where is your signal weak in different parts of your home, or where you're getting really poor performance. And so how do you fix this? So you get on the 5 gigahertz band, right? And you make sure that it's using non-busy channels, looking at your neighbors, for example. And now you say, okay, but I've got a poor signal. I'm minus 70 dBms in this part of the house. What do I do? Well, a couple options. One is you could buy what they call an extender, a repeater, or a booster. And they're pretty inexpensive, and you can plug them around in your house. The negative part of that is that you have to connect to each one of these depending on where you are in the house. So it kind of acts as a separate connection, it has EXT next to it. And you have to connect to the network, okay, to the Wi-Fi network for that extender, all right? And second, it loses a lot of bandwidth. And so you may have a better, stronger signal, but you have slower speeds. So that's not good, okay? So the solution is do not buy extenders, boosters, or repeaters. Buy a mesh network. I just installed my mesh network, and you've already been seeing the results. I'm on the second floor, and I'm running over 400 megabits per second. I'm on the second floor, and I'm running about minus 45 on my DBM. And I'm not even next to one of my mesh routers here. So the cool thing about these mesh routers is that it's one network, and they connect to each other wirelessly, and each one has 2 antennas in it, okay? And so, but it's a very targeted type of signal that you're getting, which means that you maintain speed and you maintain a strong signal. And that, with the culmination of being 5 gigahertz and being on the right channel, everywhere in your home, and even maybe 50 or 100 feet outside your home, you'll also be getting a strong performance for streaming video, doing Zoom meetings, etc. So I went out, and you're saying, well, which mesh system should I buy? I bought TP-Link, and their system's called Deco, and there's many different models. One of the more current models is this S4. That's the one I bought. And it's basically, it says on the box, it's a Wi-Fi dead zone killer, connects up to 100 devices, full gigabit Ethernet ports if you want to just plug in your laptop directly into the back of one of these, okay? And it's got enhanced dual band speeds. And it's good for up to 5,500 square feet. Because your average router is probably about 1,200 square feet. So I've got a 4,000 square foot house, and it's got 3 floors in it. So I have dead spots, and I'm at, so basically a 1,200 range router is not going to work throughout my house efficiently. So let's look at these at this mesh routers. To set up your mesh network is very easy. So I take out one of the Deco routers. There's 3 in the box, and it tells you in the instructions to unplug your modem. So we unplug the modem. And by the way, this is a brand new modem, because when I upgraded from 200 megabytes per second to the 400 MBS, I needed a faster modem, and the cable Spectrum gave that to me as part of the package. And then I just connected an Ethernet. There's only 2 Ethernet ports on the back of this. So I plug in one cable into the modem, and I have another cable that's plugged into my security system router. So that could be used, that second port could be used for a PC or anything you want, if you want to kind of have a wired LAN and get maximum gigabyte type speeds if your device supports that. Okay, then you just plug this in. It's got just a regular plug. Some of them have USB-C. It just has a regular power adapter, this model, and there's a light at the top. and it just blinks as it's being set up, and there's a mobile app that walks you through the setup. Mobile app for the TP-Link, it's called Deco, like the product name. So it's pretty cool, and it's very easy to set up. And basically, so when you set this up, you can see we called our network Chowie, which is named after our dog, which had recently passed away. And our main network, I have 5 gigahertz and 2.4 gigahertz set up in case I want to use the 2.4 for something. I can also set up a guest network, which is cool with a mesh. So you have people that come over, you can set up a guest password and they can log in and use it for guests without giving away your regular Wi-Fi password. There's a lot of features to the mesh network, not just guest password, but you can also set up parental controls to control content. You can set up a blacklist. So if someone's trying outside to connect to your network and they somehow hack it in, you can add them to a blacklist where they can no longer connect. So there's a lot of features to this. Another thing I want to tell you is that there is something called fast roaming, which I have disabled, and there's beamforming. So let me just tell you what they are. So you should never turn on fast roaming because basically, which is kind of used a lot with extenders too, to be able to go from one port to another automatically, and some older devices don't support it, and it usually waits until the signal is really bad before it changes. So I wouldn't use fast roaming, but beamforming is really the sweetness of a mesh network, which basically, if you look at the antennas, a typical router will send the signal everywhere, all the way around. But what beamforming does, it uses a very complex, I guess, mathematical, scientific, programming that focuses the signals from the antenna to the different devices. So it's just not floating around all around the air, and this gives you a stronger signal. And other things you can do on the software, it does give you monthly reports. You can hide the network, so once everyone's devices are set up, you can have it so it's considered a hidden network. It even has a feature where for other people in the house, you can shake your phone and share the network and the password so they can easily set up their device.